Obviously a heck of a win for us the way the thing ended. We're down 8 with 4 minutes to go. Thought our guys showed great poise and composure. Thought our full court press was good. Thought some of the trapping we were doing in the half court was good. We needed to generate some turnovers at that point. Obviously down, three possessions there late. And I think it was even 3 possessions at 2 and change. So you need to create some havoc. We were able to do that, fortunately. And then we capitalized on the offensive end with some big-time shot making by our guys. A lot of great steals by Greg Tribble. I think he had 3 steals in the last 4 minutes of the game in the press. A great vertical by Reek on the last shot at the rim. And then some big-time shot making by Ali. And I was really happy for him because, he really has developed as a player over the 2 to 3 years. And I mentioned this after the Ohio game. I thought he showed tremendous courage trying to help us close that one with a 61-60 lead with 3 to go here a week or 2 ago. And I thought that the courage was there, but I thought, the awareness or the intelligence of how we wanted to get that done wasn't up to par. And so he watched the film. We've talked about it. And it was neat to see that evolution take place because we were in that same situation a couple weeks ago, and now here he takes a quality 3, didn't rush it. And even if he misses the last shot, we ran a good action. He got the ball right where we wanted it, and he got it into the paint for a shot up over him at about 12 feet. And I thought it was much more intelligent in terms of how he attacked him and had really learned from what he had been through previously. So pretty neat for him to see that. Obviously, last 2 things. One, I thought our students were great again, especially after a snowstorm and cancellation of classes. For them to come out like that they've been awesome. So thankful for that. And then, lastly, I want to give a lot of credit to Western Michigan. I thought certainly we led, I think, 14 of the 20 minutes in the first half. They made a big push at the end of the first half. And really from the end of the first half until the 4-minute media to close the game, I thought they outplayed us. And they were just really difficult to stop. Those 2 guards, Norman and B. Artis White, were terrific, combined for 40-plus, made 11 threes combined. And some of them, 1 or 2 of them were defensive things we could have done better, but 2/3, 3/4 of them were like really tough, off the dribble, contested, challenge shots. So give those 2 kids credit. I thought they were absolutely terrific. And like I said, I thought that they, for about 20 minutes of the game, maybe even a little more, maybe 24, outplayed us. But, we hung in there and found a way to win, and good teams have to do that. And obviously I'm proud of our guys that they showed the resiliency and courage that they did.
Go ahead, questions, George.
Hey, John. That 20 minutes you're talking about, it looked to me, I asked about this after the Kent game. It seemed the defensive intensity was lacking in the 20 minutes you're mentioning. What have you got to do to get it more consistent in that area?
Yeah, I think, they started feeling good, George. Although I will say this, we haven't gotten off to great starts until today. We got off to a tremendous start the first 4 to 5 minutes of the game. That was an emphasis for us. We feel like we need to grow in that area. And I want to say, I don't have, what was it at the end of the first 4 minutes? 11-7 us or something like that? And I thought we came out swinging and really played well. Played really well. So our start was good. And I thought both ends, even the shots they made, a couple of those were super challenged early. I thought we were pretty good the first 4 or 5 minutes, really ready to play, locked in. Best start we've had probably since Wright State, to be quite frank. And then obviously they started making shots. I didn't think we disrupted them enough with our ball pressure. They were very comfortable, which is why you saw us probably tonight play more defenses and do more, played a lot of different coverages and pressed more and did a lot of different things in the second half to try to get them out of rhythm, which was a real challenge because those 2 guards were unbelievable. I mean, the last time I saw shot making like that in our building was 2 years ago in the championship year when Toledo beat us in here, and Marion Jackson, I don't know what his stat line was, but I felt like he had 40. And then C-Jack wasn't too far off from that either, and it was a high-level game. But, that's the last time I've seen shot making like that. So give those 2 guards and their team credit. I mean, I thought they were really, really good. But we needed to make them more uncomfortable, George, and we finally were able to do that late. And fortunately, time didn't run out on us.
Why weren't you able to do it before the end of the game? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I had this, what was it, 2:40 left to go? You get the 11-0 run starts, and I'm like, no way. They're not coming back from this. And lo and behold, boom. But what was the problem before this?
Well, I don't know if it's so much.
Is it just a
Yeah,
case of
again, I don't know if it was so
shot
much of
stopping?
a problem. I think there were a few mistakes made in there. We busted a switch on one, but we've got to impose our will a little bit more. But part of it's just elite shot making. You know, you hear them say it a lot in the NBA, and I'm certainly not trying to say that, you know, college basketball is, in terms of the players, the NBA obviously is the NBA, right? And there's a lot of great players in college, and college basketball is a pretty high level. But you'll hear guys say it, a guy like LeBron says it all the time. This is a shot-making league. Make shots, miss shots. That's the difference. And some of the shots these two guards made, man, again, it reminded me of Marion Jackson 2 years ago. So I got to tip my hat to those guys. I did think that our trapping and some of the things we did in the last 10 minutes of the game at least started to throw their timing off a little bit. But it's riskier, obviously, to do that. At that point, I felt like it was the best way to go because being solid in what we were doing, which we typically do, was not working. It was not throwing. Those guards were making unreal shots. So we had to try to do something to disrupt timing. So that's why we made those changes with 10 minutes to go, almost wholesale. We started doing a lot of different things the last 10 minutes just to see it throw different pitches at them. You know, it's kind of like a pitcher that has a great fastball. Say Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens back in the day when I was growing up. Those guys had a big-time fastball, and most of the time people don't hit the fastball because it's so good. Tonight the fastball was getting hit, and so we had to make some changes and use the changeup and the curveball and the slider. And fortunately for us, it allowed us to disrupt them, the rhythm a little bit and force the bulk of the 15 turnovers they had in the last 10 minutes of the game, in particular the last 4 minutes of the game. So, you know, and again, give our guys credit for executing in that situation. There's a lot of teams, BD just told me we're actually down 10 with 3 to go. So there's a lot of teams that would have cracked at that point and not had the poise and composure to manage the game the last 3 minutes and give themselves an opportunity to win. And our guys did that.
Where did the leadership come from on the court in those final 4 minutes?
I think the whole group kind of came together, but the voice I heard the most by far, even in the second half when things weren't going our way, was Greg Tribble. Whether it's, hey guys, we need to get some stops, you know, whether it's, hey, 8 minutes, there's a lot of time left, guys, we got plenty of time, we can do this. 4 minutes to go, 8-point games, 3 possessions, guys, 3 possessions. Let's see if we can get 3 stops in a row. So I thought Greg was, his voice, especially when you're a guy like him that's a good player, that's been on winning teams over the last 2 years, now going on 3 years, that voice from a player, in addition to the coaches, I thought was impactful. But I thought they all showed poise. I thought Rike was pretty good with his voice as well. Castaneda needs to probably talk more. When he does talk, it's pretty powerful. But he's so freaking tough. Like, you know, he's going to fight you to win. So you feel that from his body language and his play. We're trying to get him to talk more. But, you know, I just thought those guys played with a lot of toughness and a lot of poise and composure the last 4 minutes.
Past 3 years, that voice was CJ. He for a little guy, he barked. Do you need to see that more from one player in particular or different players at different times?
Well, I think it's good we've got a group. Like Ali was talking late in the game as well. I should have probably thrown him in there. But the more guys, the better, man. And I like the disposition of that last group. Obviously, we went back and forth with Brian and Greg a little bit, offense, defense. But basically, those 6 guys played the last 4 minutes. I didn't sub much late, not because I don't trust those other guys. I just thought the guys that were playing were in a rhythm and were leading us back. And I liked the way they looked in terms of their synchronization the last 4 or 5 minutes, so we stayed with them. And You know, it worked out today. You know, I mentioned it's a make or miss league, as LeBron likes to say. I mean, we still would have had poise and composure, managed the game, had great voices and all that, even if Ali missed that last shot. If he misses that last shot, we probably lose today. But he made it. So now we're talking about a win, you know. And so in some respects, I think what LeBron and others say about the NBA, I don't think it's that much different, you know, in college. It's a make or miss league. You know, you got to make shots. And so obviously he made a big time shot. But again, those two guards were unreal. Very difficult to defend. Obviously we've got to do a better job maybe with our scheme the next time we play them, try to help our guys a little bit more. But they were absolutely terrific.
You started your press conference mentioning Ali right off the top. He's elevated his game significantly this year. First of all, how much do you need his consistency? I know you have guys who can step up on a nightly basis, but how much would you prefer to see him at that level?
Yeah.
Because he struggled the past couple
Yeah,
of
I
years.
clearly prefer it, you know, but I think part of it's the growth process. I told the guys before the game that in our program we normalize struggle. You know, we don't turn our back on struggle. Struggle's a good thing. Sunday they were great in practice. Yesterday they got off to a slow start. I got into them a little bit. Today's shoot around, the first part wasn't great, then they picked it up. Got into them a little bit. They finished really strong today. Sunday's practice was maybe the best we've had all year. I just try to be real with them. And I tell them that in everybody's path and everybody's journey, it's not rosy every day. You know, we've got to embrace the struggle because, you know, don't miss out on it. I tell them, you miss out on the struggle, you miss out on an opportunity to get better if you try to neglect it or dodge it. You know, so for us, we're trying to embrace it, normalize it. This is hard, man. League play is hard. You can throw out records in league play. Anybody can win on any given night in conference play across America. It just is what it is. It's real. Stuff's hard. Hard is good, good is hard. I try to get them to understand that as best we can. And so, but you're right. I mean, Ali has been up and down a little bit with production, but I think part of it is him trying to figure it out. Part of it's that growth process for him. How to play against bigger guys, smaller guys. He's a mismatch guy. How do I attack? How to close? This is a new role for me. And it's pretty cool, man. I'm glad he's so coachable and he's so smart. It's pretty neat to be involved in that process as he's graduated from one level to the next over the last 2 to 3 years. It's been a pretty neat transformation. And obviously he still has more work to do, and we're excited to continue to help him as he continues to make progress.
You know, he's elevated his game from last year, but is the word kind of out about him throughout the MAC at this point?
Yeah, that's the other thing I've shared with them. I mean, let's be real. The last 2 years, he normally drew the other team's third or fourth best defender when the game started. Right now, on some nights, he's drawing the best guy, if not the second best guy, every night. And so that you got to learn how to deal with that. It's hard. Hard is good, good is hard. Like, it's part of it, man. So, and I think he's really, really embraced learning and getting better. You know, where I'd be concerned is if he was making excuses. Because there's been days where, like today, I thought he was really, really good. There's been other days where he struggled. He knows that. We know that. We got to figure out how to help him make that happen less, be more consistent. But I think part of it's his evolution and growth as a player.
All right, sir. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You have anything, Chad?
We're good.